It's Fatwood Friday, and for today we took a little hike into the woods. This is just close by where I work, and on the way in I picked up some dead stuff. Now some of this was standing, it was leaning up against dead trees, or it was suspended off the ground, so it should be dry even if it's been a little bit wet. We're going to use this fire pit. We're going to set a portable stove up on one of these rocks. I came in with a Maxpedition sling pack, and we should have everything we need in here to get a Fatwood fire started and cook some lunch. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to break up some of this small stuff. We do need some fuel for our stove. Some of these small pieces will be perfect. We're just making a little twig stove fire today. You can hear how this snaps. I don't know if you can hear how it clanks around. That tells you that this stuff is pretty dry. We should be in good shape. We put some of the real small stuff over to the side. So we have different piles. More small stuff. You don't even need tools for. Just a pair of leather gloves. Now let's prepare some of the fatwood that we collected on my last Fatwood Friday video. We're going to use my pocket EDC fixed blade. This is a MagnaCut. It's got blue liners and black micarta scales. Brass rivets. It's a multi-grind. Now the edge angle is all the same. So when you go to sharpen this, you sharpen this like a Scandi to the point, and then you come over and you continue all at the same angle. So it's a lot easier to sharpen than you would think. So we need to make some more small pieces. I'll get that tooth right on there. And we're just using this small piece to make a few chunks out of this. This is a piece I broke with my foot, so I'm kind of surprised that it's not breaking now, that I'm actually able to baton this. This is very light batoning work. This isn't putting stress on the knife. We just need some different size pieces. Don't want to lose that. That's a good little piece. We need some different size fuel. We need some almost like toothpick type sizes, and then a little bit bigger. Again, I get that point right on the wood, and that starts it going in, and it makes easy work out of splitting this wood. You don't have to take tiny pieces and stand them up to split. You can lay them down, get that point right in there where you want it, hit that point in, and it makes easy work of it. This knife was very similar to the Junior Field Lure, which is made by William Collins. I took his design and made it to fit my needs better. I made it out of thinner stock. Here we have about 3/32. It's got a nice distal taper on it. And you can see how thin that is behind the edge. I really ground this down thin, which is perfect for me for an EDC knife. See, his Junior Field Lure is more of a strictly camping type knife. This is a standard EDC knife to do anything that you come across in daily tasks. So thinner, lighter. I've also improved the handle a little bit. Instead of flat handles, I put grooves in here. I also 45'd it here to make it comfortable to come up in a pinch grip. This has just been a phenomenal knife. This is the best EDC fixed blade I have ever carried. Now we're going to make some shavings. Like I said, we need different types of tinder to get this thing kicked off. One of the things that's very important to me with an EDC fixed blade is that the handle has to be extremely comfortable. This needs to be a handle that can be used for long periods of time. This one definitely can be. It's thicker, it's bigger, it's contoured, it fits the hand, and it's far superior to any folding knife. Plus there's no pocket clip. And I put the lanyard coming out the back so it's not in your way. I hate having a hollow tube in the back of the knife and having that rope stick up through. That just annoys me to no end. This stuff smells incredible. Now in some of these pieces I can see a little bit of wetness. That's how much resin is in here. It's actually wet with resin. I don't think it's water. It feels and smells like resin. But doesn't that thin edge, I mean, that just makes these cuts effortless. Now this is about maybe 12 or 13 degrees per side. It's not quite the 11 degrees of a traditional Scandi. It is an EDC knife, and it will get used for a lot of other tasks that an 11 degree edge may not be perfectly suited for. Maybe might just make it a little bit too thin, a little bit too fine. Okay, so there's our shavings. Now we also need some fluff. So we use the spine of the knife and we scrape. See that fine fluff that's being created? That's what's going to take a spark and give us our initial flame. This is where it's nice to have a sharp spine on a knife so that you can do things like this. Also, if you're making a bushcraft product, you have something to smooth out your carving with, so you don't have rough edges. And that's where these relief cuts here come in so handy, so you can put your thumb there to get that extra pressure that you need to make this fine fluff. Okay, we should be pretty good on the fluff there. Why not make a few more shavings just for good measure? Pull out the fire sticks. And then this just hinges open. And there's a plate in the bottom here that's hinged that just drops in. Now, one of the problems that you have in all of these little twig stoves, let's see which way this fits in, is that if you put your wood in here, it's really hard to get in here and make a spark to start a fire. So what you can do is make an upside down fire. You put your bigger fuel towards the bottom and your smaller fuel as it comes up, and then you put your shavings and your fluff right on the top and you light it from the top. Another possibility, and this is what I'm going to try today, this is an experiment. Since this stove has a pan on the bottom, you can use this thing on the picnic table without burning anything, because anything that falls down through, you can see those holes down there in the bottom, will get caught on this ash pan. We should be able to light a fire on this ash pan and then put the ash pan in here, and there's enough holes there that the flame will come up and it should ignite our wood. So that's what we're going to try. First, we're going to take our fine twigs, break them up, and put them in first. Then we're going to take some of our next size up and place these inside the stove. Now you want to leave air spaces. You don't want to have everything tight and all in the same direction. Fire likes chaos. Next, let's prepare this plate. We do want some different size pieces of fatwood. Like I said, we're going to go for some chaos. Then we're going to add our shavings on. And then our fluff on top of that. Let's go see if this is going to fit in the stove. This ferro rod is from JC Mountain Jar. We're going to use this to light the fire today. As you can see, it's all full of paint. My original plan for this was to use it on July 4th to light a fire. But as it turned out, I was in Florida on July 4th, and when it's 100 degrees and 100% humidity, who wants to light a fire? So I have this striker. We could use our knife on this, but I like to preserve the edge on my spine to do things like scrape the fatwood. So let's clear some of this paint off. Now that we're getting some sparks off this ferro rod, let's see if we can light this fire. There we go. Took more strikes than I would like, but it is lit. I'm going to attribute that to that wet resin. We can take some of this other leftover fatwood that we have and put it down inside there. But I already see flames coming up. We've got a fire going. Move the camera back a little bit where it's safe. Let's see if we can get a couple of these sticks in here, called fire sticks, without burning ourselves. And that can hold our cup. What we're going to do today is make some ramen. And we'll put a lid on there. Here's what's for lunch today. Beef flavor ramen noodles. Got to put our flavor packet in there. Oh, we got a nice boil going. Now comes the hard part. Hurry up and wait. All right, let's see what we got. Okay. Utensils are these Tokes titanium fold up fork and spoon. These work pretty nice. Let's see what we got, if we can eat this stuff yet. Pretty good stuff. This is a lot better than your standard ramen. So if you're wondering what to get, you can take a look at that label. It's some good stuff. They also have beef flavor, which is really good too. Alright, I'm going to finish my lunch. There's no reason for you to have to sit through this. Okay, we're just going to spread some of these ashes out a little bit. Make sure everything is out and that we're safe. It's pretty wet down here in the bottom. We should be good. And I brought out this JX Omega with me, just in case I wanted to use it. This has been in a video that I made not too long ago about if you could only have 5 knives. So lunch out here went pretty good. That Fatwood fire did take a couple more strikes than I wanted to start. But you also have to consider that's freshly harvested from nature. That's not Fatwood that you buy in the store that's been sitting around and it has been dried for a year and you know it's 100% moisture free. As I was carving that stuff, there was still some wetness inside. I figured it was probably resin, but it could have been a little bit of moisture in there too. It's been raining here a lot. Regardless of that, you can always go out and gather some Fatwood off of the bottom of pine trees and you can use it to get a fire started. It's just about 100% guaranteed. That's going to be it for this Fatwood Friday. We'll see you next week.